Okay, so welcome back to Black Dragon Miniatures YouTube channel, and today we are going to be playing a fast play game of American Civil War. So we're going to be using the firepower rules, which is basically backed by Perry Miniatures, Alan and Michael, and I think really mainly rules written by Alessio Cavatore of various fame, but let's not go into too much detail because it's quite a long list of what he's done, even been in Lord of the Rings.
Was he?
Yeah, he was in Lord of the Rings.
Was he one of the orcs?
I know, Rider of Rohan.
Yeah.
They put him in hair and everything.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
Alessio with hair.
Yeah, Alessio with hair. And Michael and Alan, isn't it? But anyway, that's another story. Google it if you want to. You probably already know if you're a gamer, unlike John, who's been a gamer for 30 years and didn't even know that. So there we go.
I don't play Lord of the Rings.
Well, no point.
At the minute.
Okay, so anyway, Firepower is an American Civil War fast play rule set. Comes in the big box from Perry's. It's not Battlefield, it might be Battlefield in a box. Anyway, but anyway, big American Civil War start set. Designed to basically get units on the table, get them playing. Does give the feel of American Civil War. It's not very in-depth at all. I mean, it is, in fairness, the rules are about 16 pages, which obviously is 4 times the size of Age of Sigmar. But there are quite a few bits that you sort of almost have to, sort of, if you're going to play it more than a couple of times, house rule it. So it is just a bit of fun, and lots of units on the table, rolling dice, killing stuff. Very brutal, very fast. So see what you think, and if you fancy a game of it and you've got your American Civil War, you don't want to get a big table out, you don't want to do necessarily a scenario, you just want to literally just throw some models on the table and roll some dice, maybe at a gaming club or something like that, this is where this game is ideal. John has read the rules in the last 3 minutes, because that's what it took to read it. And I haven't played for a long time, but I read the rules in 3 minutes earlier. So we'll get cracking. Okay, we're going to be playing scenario 6 from the rule book, which is capture the farm. Yeah, which is in the centre of the table. So in this scenario, both forces, I'm going to be playing the Confederation of Slavers. And John is playing the
good guys.
The good guys, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, because
until they voted Trump in.
Well, exactly, because the Union won. Anyway, yeah, the Union won, but won't go into that. Right, so basically, both forces are going to come onto the table. We basically, each turn we roll D3, and we can bring units on, and the idea is we've got to basically control the farmhouse at the end of the game. The game will play for 7 turns, then we roll a dice to see if there's an 8th turn. So quite a long game from turn point of view, but I say the turns are quite quick. So hope you enjoy. Do leave comments, do feel free to subscribe and like and share, that would be great. And you'll hear my voice and John's voice, although he's not very talkative, clearly, okay, through the video, and I'll see you at the end of the video if you've not got bored and switched off. So see you soon. Okay, so here we have the Union force. We've got 2 cannon. There's no differentiation in this game. Cannon is just cannon. Does have 2 or 3 firing options, and we've then got 4 units of infantry. So in this game, 5 units of infantry. Do apologise. So in this game, you have 2 ranks of 9 forms a regiment. Okay, so effectively we've got 5 units of basic infantry there. We've got a leader mounted on a horse, and we've then got 2 units of cavalry, which are 6 models in a unit. Confederates for this one have got exactly the same force, so again 2 cannon, 5 units of infantry, the commander, and 2 units of horse. Okay. Battlefield itself is laid out as follows. There's a road that runs sort of from one width to the other, and then there's a cross section that runs out towards the north side of the sort of area we're fighting over. In the middle there is the farm, and a couple of woodlands and a couple of fences sort of protecting the crops. Okay, so game 1 and turn 1 of Firepower. Okay, so the Union forces won the first turn, however they're effectively scouts, if you like, are moving down the road as they were the only unit to succeed in coming on. For the Confederates, they brought on a artillery piece and the commander leading the way of the rest of the Confederates. Okay, so the Union turned 2, they brought cannon on, and some cavalry came charging onto the field and have moved up to the back of the barn or back of the farmhouse. The infantry moved up to secure the farmhouse temporarily at least, and formed into line. For the Confederates, slightly better turn in the fact they brought on 3 units. So they've got infantry unit coming on their right flank, keeping an eye on the cavalry unit of the Union. Some infantry have moved onto the road, cavalry out onto the left flank, and the artillery piece is now loaded and about to fire down onto the Union forces down here. So we've just checked the range, it's 24, so we need, on that distance, we need a 4+ to hit with 1 dice, and we miss on a 3. So Union turn 3, and quite a few more units appeared. Union commander rolled 3, so we've got 2 more units of infantry and another unit of cavalry supporting the journey down the road. So firing, we've got the unit by the farm are going to open up on the unit of Confederates straight ahead of them down the other end of the road, and because of the range they need 6s to hit, and nothing. Okay, so just a puff of smoke, nothing more than that. Okay, cannon.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 shot.
Yeah.
Presumably needing a 6, I would guess. But,
yeah.
So over 24, over 30.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's 39.
Yep. So 1 shot and a 6 off the table. Roll again. No, so that's a miss as well. So drew a blank there on shooting, and Union failed to make the charge. One of the things I like about this, it's random movement, so it's cavalry's 2d6 doubled, infantry's 2d6, so you're never quite sure whether your orders are going to get through. Again, judging distances makes life a little harder, you can't pre-measure, so that's left the cavalry facing down a bunch of Confederate guns. Okay. So the first action is the Confederate regiment firing on the Union cavalry who misjudged their charge distance, so 9 dice hitting on 3s at this range, and that is 7 hits scored. Okay, so 7 points of damage on the cavalry, and but they did pass their morale check on a double 6. So the cannon's going to fire at the unit by the farmhouse again, needing a 4. It's the same as last time. This time hits it over 5. So that is a hit on the unit, and the unit takes 2 points of damage and passes the morale. The regiment of foot is going to shoot and put more pressure onto the unit by the farmhouse there. So unfortunately though, because of the range, we're going to need 6s. I do get 1, so it's another point of damage. Right then, so just to recap, at the end of the Confederate turn, the unit just here opened up into the cavalry, 7 points of damage. Unit Confederate cavalry has now arrived. Firing from this unit, put a point of damage onto the unit defending the farm. Another regiment of Confederates have now come on into the field. Another artillery battery has arrived, and the cavalry just edged forward to the edge of the fence line, potentially to instigate a charge next turn. That is the end of Confederate turn 3. Union turn 4 now. Okay, so predictably, unfortunately the Confederates failed to get rid of the cavalry, so they have now subsequently completed their charge into the Confederates, and they will be rolling 12 dice, +1 for charging, +1 cavalry versus infantry, so they are now hitting on 3s with 12 dice. Okay, a few misses there, so So what's that? 3, 6, 7. 7 points of damage. So the cavalry charged in and dished out 7 points of damage, which has really hurt that unit. However, they did manage to put 2 points back on the cavalry, which took them to the automatic destruction point of 9. So the Union cavalry are no more. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have some firing from the Union onto the cavalry, making their way around the side of the trees there. Okay, so hitting on 5s, and that is 5. Wowzers. Okay, so 5 points of damage. See if we can survive. Yes, we do. We love that. Okay, what else you doing?
So he's not just fired, he's still got his plunger in there.
So the cannon's fired and missed again. Struggling a little bit with the range there, needing 6s. Okay, so finishing off with the Union turn. Just a little bit of movement at the backfield. Commander helped the 2 infantry units move forward. They were a little bit lackluster. And into Confederate turn 4. So the first thing, the artillery batteries are opening up onto the unit just here, needing 5s and 1 hit and 3 damage. Okay, and just saved it. Okay, so after firing and the artillery smoke disappears, unfortunately, the Unionists are still stood there. So my half-damaged cavalry unit have decided, in true Confederate fashion, to just charge. So here we go with the combat. So we get 3, 6, 9, 12. 6 dice each, isn't it, for them? And we know from before we're hitting on 3s.
Yep.
And that's the unit destroyed. Yep. But it's whether the Unionists can take my cavalry down. They need 4 points to destroy the unit, and they're hitting on 5s. And they do 2. So the cavalry are potentially still there. Okay, so more reinforcements of the Confederates have arrived in the shape of 2 infantry regiments. So that is the full Confederate force now on the table. And we've just done a bit of a gamble from the Confederates, but the Confederate cavalry, a bit like the Scots Greys, do what they want. Managed to roll in 11, which is doubled, so a 22-inch massive charge into the Union cavalry, trying to protect their friends, and we'll see how this all plays out. So the cavalry have charged in. Mine will be 12 dice hitting on 4s, and John's are 12 dice hitting on 5s. Okay, so Confederates, looking for 4s. So we end up with 3, 6. And John's looking for 5s for the Unionists. Ouch. 5. So 6 plays 5, so the Confederates win the combat. Okay, so the cavalry charged in. Took a fair bit of damage, but they did manage to break the Union cavalry, who legged it off down the road back towards, I don't know, Jacksonville. Yeah. Sounds alright, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Anyway, right, so that is end of the turn, so it is now Union turn 5. Okay, slaughter about to take effect here. The infantry there opening fire on the cavalry, and yeah, don't need many, just need 4 points of damage, and they get it. So the cavalry destroyed. So the cannon's going to open up on the other artillery, on the other cavalry unit, try and dislodge them. So 1 shot and a 4, failed. Luckily for them. And cannon's still not actually hit home yet. Okay, so end of Union turn 5, and regiment there moving towards the farm. This lot obviously held ground and opened fire. New reinforcements have arrived at the back of the table, along with another artillery battery. Hopefully this lot know how to shoot. Okay, so Confederate turn 5. Okay, so the Confederate cavalry have charged the Union infantry. It did 6 points of damage. Unfortunately, the Union did manage to destroy the cavalry unit, and they are removed. Okay, so the artillery have opened fire and done a couple of points of damage on the Union regiment that's just destroyed the cavalry. They're now on 8 pips, 1 more, and they are gone. So at the end of turn 5, the Confederates have moved up to try and secure the farmhouse. Union forces still waiting 1 regiment to arrive, and have 1 unit fairly near to destruction. But can the cannons save the day? Okay, so the regiment behind the cornfield have fired on Confederates, and 6 pips of damage and forcing them to retreat away. Now for the cannon, we find out.
That one is firing the unit.
Yep, so hitting on 5. Missed.
Nope. And the other one.
Okay. And missed again. Okay, so end of Union turn 6. Bit of firepower unleashed. Still the artillery failed to hit their target. And 1 point of damage on the unit near the crossroads or the junction. And obviously that unit's in retreat. So end of Confederate turn 6, and the unit on the far right who come back into the fight have raked across the Union regiment behind the picket fence, who unfortunately failed their morale test and have run backwards. Other than that, some firing down here, and the artillery piece as well has tried to do what it can. So with a jubilant cheer, one of the cannon has hit a target, 2 points of damage, and they failed the morale check and retreated back 4 inches. Other than that, some movement and just the one last unit to move. What are you going to do?
They're going to advance.
Okay, so walking down. Wowzers. So it's 11, 14 if they stay on the road. Okay, so Confederate turn 7. This unit here is going to shoot down the road at the brave bluecoats walking down there, whistles and drums going, needing 4s. Not too good a roll, only 4 points of damage, but it does put them on 8. So quite possibly could be running here. And they are. Yep. So 2d6 backwards. 7. They're on the road, so 10 I suppose. Run faster down the road. Can't have it both ways, John.
I haven't. I didn't move the full move.
And then what we're going to do is with the left-hand artillery piece, battery is going to try and kill the running whilst they're running away. Nope. And the next one. No, so never mind. They're obviously using scatter, so artillery failed. First time in I think all game that both artillery on the Confederate side have missed. Right, next thing. Okay, so the unit by the farm have opened fire and put 7 points of damage now onto that unit, but with a double 6 they passed their morale and they're happy. Okay, so the end of the Confederate firing, and at the end of turn 7 we have the cannon have fired, the Confederate infantry on the road fired, this unit rallied, and other than that we put 3 points of damage on the unit to the back of the water butt. The Unions on the road are in retreat, and the Union on the far right of the board managed to pass their morale check, but they're only 2 pips away from being destroyed. So we need a d6, you need a 4+ for turn 8, and we get turn 8, so into turn 8, Union turn. Okay, so end of a Union part of the game. So unfortunately the Union soldiers on the road continue to flee, and they're trying to get off home. The Union here have dislodged the Confederates here and forced them to rout by putting 6 points of damage on them. And the Unionists on the left flank tried a long range shot to try and eliminate the Confederates down here. Unfortunately they were about 3 inches short, was it? Or 4?
Yeah, about 3.
Yeah, about 3 inches short. So unfortunately didn't manage to take them out and secure the point there. So Confederates to finish off the game. Let's see what they can do. Okay, so double fire from the 2 regiments here. Managed to dislodge the Union force by the water butt. The cannon managed to destroy the retreating Union force before they managed to leave the table. Other than that, Confederate forces rallied and secured the farmhouse, and that ends the Battle of Little Farmhouse. Right then, so firepower.
Great game.
Plenty of firepower.
Yeah.
Confederates desperate to get the Kentucky bourbon from the farmhouse and secure the hops. Yeah, basically everything went according to plan. My artillery hit.
Every turn.
My cavalry did get destroyed, but it was really the only loss it was the only loss I suffered actually from a regiment point of view. But again, they were quite good at impact cavalry, what they do, impact charges, so that worked quite well. I think I had the advantage in this scenario of just managing to get units on the board quicker.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it boiled down to. And artillery.
Yeah.
So
My
yeah.
artillery hit once all game.
Once all game, and it was on a 6. It was on a 6, and it did nearly kill a unit, but it didn't. Whereas I think probably at least 5.
The first 5 turns you hit every turn. I think 1 turn or 2 turns you hit with both.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I was quite fortunate in fact because you advanced down the road. Obviously, you got into cannon range a lot quicker, whereas you were hitting on 5s and 6s. I think one of them was a 4 and the others were 5. So again, a little bit of an advantage there. But overall, you want to get some models on the table and play a fast game. I mean, 8 turns. Appreciate we've edited this down, but still, an hour.
Yeah.
Probably. Hour?
Yeah,
probably going to be 30 minutes video by the time I've edited it, and obviously you've got to listen to all my crap. But yeah, really quick game, and has that feel of the American Civil War, which is the bit I really like about it. The fact that units move forward, they fail a morale check, relatively easy to do, in fairness.
Yeah.
Run backwards, and then someone shouts, and they turn around and then run back up the hill. Yeah, so has that feel of it. I mean, yes, the stitch counters or anyone who really knows the history, yeah, it's not going to fit sort of the desires of some players, I suppose. No. But for those who sort of like the idea of the battles, but aren't really that into the background of it, it's great if you want to get some grey guys versus some blue guys. So, any thoughts from you?
No, I really enjoyed it. Like you say, it's really quick to pick up as well.
Yeah. Well, 3 minutes to read the rules.
Yeah.
That's it. Brilliant. So, do check it out. The core box is great value. You get loads of picket fences. You get the building that was in the battle report. Actually, we did use the Perry one. I think it's actually a Renedra building. But anyway, it comes in the Perry box. We did use a few extra miniatures. So I think you only get 1 cannon each. You get some cavalry. But basically about 120 odd quid. You get like loads of models, because it's Perry's, so again, quality's great. But yeah, do check it out. Do check out the other videos as well. There is some Rebels and Patriots on our channel as well, which is a different sort of rule set for the same period. So do check that out and check out what else we're doing, and hope you liked it. And please, if you do, subscribe. Thank you. And thanks, John.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, well, I'll try and convince you to play another game at some point. Right, see you soon.